everybody, I'm Tom Vassell, and welcome to the 12 Games of Christmas video series. 10 videos in which we're talking about different topics and giving you 12 games that you can buy people for this upcoming Christmas season. We want to do a quick thank you before we jump into our advanced strategy game video today to Above Board TV. Above Board TV, they play advanced strategy games, although not in the way you might think that they do. They play dungeon crawls too. They have a new live action series, Dungeon Call, where they're playing through a role-playing game with Becca Scott and other actors. But they play strategy games in weird and unusual places, whether underwater, skydiving, on a mountain, and in the video that we have linked in the description below, playing while covered with bees. Hey, I don't know why I would want to be covered with bees, but I know why you would want to watch it, because if you watch that video and comment on it, you will be entered into a contest. 10 winners of that contest are going to get a $50 Game or Less from Amazon of their choice, shipped to them in the continental U.S., and one lucky winner is going to get flown, all expenses paid, 3 days, 2 nights to L.A. to meet the Above Board TV gang and film a video with them. So I hope you're one of those lucky winners, and either way, check out their channel for videos like that and more. Advanced strategy. These are the heavy strategies. These are for the gamer. You know, someone who says, like, almost takes board game as an identity in their life. I'm a board gamer. Or maybe you're looking for gifts to tell other people to buy you for Christmas. Well, these are 12 very involved, fun games that offer lots of cool strategic options. Let's take a look at 12 of them.
All right, let's kick off the advanced strategy list with Unconscious Mind. This is a game themed around the birth of Freud's psychoanalysis and the contemporaries of Freud meeting with him to discuss these different things and put them into practice. You are playing as one of Freud's contemporaries, and what you're going to be doing is a number of things. You're going to be traveling around the city of Vienna. You're going to be treating patients in your office, primary and secondary office eventually, where you could be treating a couple of different patients by interpreting their dreams. And so cards represent dreams in this game, and you're going to be using your worker placement actions to get different analysis of these patients and get new discoveries and be able to interpret dreams and, you know, help your patients reach catharsis. Well, that's a lot of thematic language, but this is done through a series of cascading actions. As the game goes on, you're going to be taking an action like you would at the beginning of the game, but that action is going to trigger so many sub-actions. That's why this is considered an advanced strategy game, because it has far-reaching implications for every one of your actions as the game goes on. If you know someone that is a fan of heavy strategy games, especially good-looking ones, Unconscious Mind would certainly fit that bill. And especially if you have someone that is interested in psychology, psychiatry, behavioral sciences, things along those lines, then this would be a very, very unique game for them to check out. That's Unconscious Mind.
As expected, one of the best advanced strategy games that came out in a while was Arcs from Leader Games. This one is so fun as it mixes and blends the idea of trick-taking sort of games, but also card, action, and following suit type games, where you can use this game of space conquest, go around, fight each other. You can try to build up your ability to, just generate resources and use them towards fulfilling these different objectives. One of the most unique games that I've played in a long time, and so fun at just being a lot and so much pivoting you have to do as you look at your hand of cards and say, I didn't want these cards, but I can do something great with them still. So if you're interested in that, check out Arcs.
Nova Roma feels like a connection of mini games, all Euro-style games. But the central idea, the way in which you're going to be selecting these things, is very, very clever. You are going to be deploying your workers to a grid, and based on where you go, the column and the row where your worker is intercepting, you are going to be getting those actions. Maybe you'll go to a market, maybe you'll move your ship around, maybe you'll build up your own little area in front of you. And then if you go to a spot that has you again, where now there's 2 of your workers lined up, then you'll get that thing, shipping or market or what have you, at an increased strength. So it's got this great little engine in the middle of it, in which you're trying to go to just the right position, trying to build yourself up, and trying to have the other players not get in your way. Great look, very engaging, very thinky game. That's Nova Roma.
Next up on Advanced Strategy is Nucleum. Now, this is a game that I thoroughly enjoy and has some good crunchy weight and decisions to it. So in this game, you are building up the nuclear power plants in Germany, and it's kind of an alternate history. But you are building routes, you're building industries, and you're trying to power those industries. And oh my goodness, I love the positive interaction. The actual action selection sticks that you use are going to also be the routes that you're creating, and other people can help you build those routes. You can attach the similar colors together and get bonus actions. I mean, we're talking so many different awesome mechanisms brought together to create such a good strategy game. So if you like that heavy, crunchy stuff, or whoever you're buying for does, Nucleum, fabulous pick.
Our next game is SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. This is a big sprawling game in which you are flying probes around, landing on different planets in our solar system, searching the skies for radio waves, trying to find that extraterrestrial life. And when you do, this game comes with 5 different aliens. The rules of the game change a little bit depending on which 2 aliens you find over the course of a game. There is area control, there is card play, there is spending resources to fly probes around and land on planets. There's so much to do in this game, and you'll never get it all done. It just fills the table with color and interesting theme, but offers so many options to do as you take a look at your hand of cards with a deck of cards where every card is different, and figure out how to best use those cards to score you points and win the game. A phenomenally put together game from CGE Games, certainly worth your while. That's SETI.
Next up in Advanced Strategy, we're going to talk Doggerland. Now, Doggerland is a game of exploration and clan building set back in before the Ice Ages, where you live in this really fertile land. You have your own little clan that you're having to send out and, I guess, manage as you send them out in this main shared player board to discover resources, to go hunting, to get building materials, all of which they need to manage and bring back to your home clan, where you are growing your clan and you are making idols and you are just trying to survive and build up to be the biggest and, I guess, most prosperous clan here. So I really like Doggerland. There's a lot going on. Ultimately, it's going to be a worker placement with a little bit of exploration and resource management. It has great room for strategy. I highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're into this theme, this kind of prehistoric Ice Age theme. It really sings. Check out Doggerland.
Okay, so next is Wingspan with Dragons. That is Wyrmspan. Wyrmspan, for me, I like Wingspan. I think, for me, Wyrmspan is where it's at because this is a dragon version of Wingspan. So many things. I love the caves on this. It kind of gives you that exploration as you're walking deeper and deeper in the caves. I love that the refresh happens in between rounds. There's also a guild track on this that I think gives even more options and more variability to Wyrmspan. And of course, I, for one, really like the artwork in this. I also love the goals at the end of each round. You've also got that the guilds will help you with deploying different things. There's a lot to love about this game. And really, it's even if you don't like dragons, this game, for me, feels like the next level of Wingspan. And honestly, for me, I like the theme even more. This is one definitely to check out, and this is Wyrmspan.
Welcome back to the Above Board Studios. Our next game is Apiary.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's a game about giant space bees, and it is 1 to 5 players.
Right.
60 to about 90 minutes from Stonemeyer Games, a big friends of Above Board.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now, we have played Apiary.
We have.
Yeah.
But not the standard way to play the game.
No, it's particularly difficult to play Apiary
when you're covered in bees.
Thousands and thousands of bees.
Real bees. Yeah. Not space bees, real bees.
Yeah. Now, technically, this is a 4X game in which you colonize and explore new worlds where you get new special powers and abilities from science advancements.
I don't remember any of that because when we played it, we were covered in bees.
Yeah. And you'll find the more bees you have on you,
the less you care about the rules or any of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I did win the game, though.
Technically, yes.
Even covered in bees. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For those of you who are going to go out and see the game, I did win the game while covered in bees. Also, it's the only 4X game that I know of in which you get to design dances.
That's true. That is true. I do remember that aspect of the game. Now, we didn't do a lot of dancing because, again, we were covered in bees.
But when you're not covered in bees, it's a phenomenal game. Even when you're covered in bees, it's a pretty good game. But when you're not, great game.
I would recommend playing it without being covered in bees.
Stonemaier Games, Apiary.
Yay.
Next up, we have a game for the history fan in your life, and especially the ancient history fan. This is Ezra and Nehemiah. The publisher of this game, Garphill Games, has already produced a number of games in this ancients line, which are focusing on ancient history. In Ezra and Nehemiah, what you are doing is you are trying to collect the most victory points through completing a number of different actions around the board. And primarily, these are going to be driven through multi-use cards, meaning that players are going to have cards that can be used in multiple different ways. This is a game that also has a lot of potential things you're trying to do on your turn, and you're trying to figure out what is most efficient. Do I focus on this particular aspect I need to get me points? Do I focus on this particular aspect? How do the cards that I have best help me do these things in the most efficient ways? What can I do to make future turns more impactful? So those are the types of things that you're thinking about in this game. You're playing the cards out, hopefully in the best way to help you to get more and more powerful turns later in the game that are going to generate more and more points. So, advanced strategy, there's a lot to do, there's a lot to think about, but if you know somebody on your list that likes these types of games and especially likes games with a historical theme, Ezra and Nehemiah is a great choice.
Next up, a game with a lot of neat interaction called Fractured Sky from Ivy Studios. This is a bit of feels like a worker placement or a little bit of an area control or maybe a bidding game. Exactly how this works, it's strange to describe, but you're putting little airships out onto these different spaces of the map with a hidden token on top of or underneath them, and so you're trying to bid for having the most strength in an area. You can then gain rewards from there. You're trying to collect the most starfall tokens that fall into the map, the most points, but if you don't win, then you can get second place and get resources so you can build up things that will make you stronger for the next round. It's got a nice element of trying to read the behavior of the other players, trying to bid and outbid the other players without knowing what they're investing in, but based on the behavior, you can kind of get an idea. I enjoy this one a lot. It's very fun and gorgeous, whether you get whatever edition of the game you get, so that's Fractured Sky.
Barcelona is next on the advanced strategy list, and this was one of my most favorite games of last year. Really enjoyed it. The action selection in this of getting an action from the top row, getting an action from the side rows, depending on where you place, building up buildings. So this takes place in Barcelona after it's been destroyed, and you have Serta, who is like the father of urbanization, who is trying to build these buildings and also make them so that the working class people have good homes and have access to good parks and those kind of things. And so in the game, you're balancing out keeping him happy by planning a city that meets his needs, but also keeping the elite happy because they pay you money and give you lots of awesome stuff. So I really enjoy the strategy behind this. I really like the goals. The actual resources are very tight and in a good way. So Barcelona, fabulous game. Highly recommend it for an advanced strategy game.
Our last game today is a deduction game called Kronologic. Kronologic is a whodunit game, but this game offers so much more than, say, games like Clue. In Kronologic, you are moving around a board with your mind rather than moving with your character because the crime has already happened. And in Kronologic, there are 3 different crimes, but each crime comes with multiple cases, 5 different cases that can be solved for that. And you're just asking, like a little computer system, there's a little kind of card slide system that works really well, and you'll say, where was this person at this time? How many people were in this room at this time? And by using those combinations, every time you ask the game for a clue, it gives you a clue, you alone a clue, but also gives everybody a clue. And so you're slowly figuring out these clues till you can be the first person to solve it. With 15 cases in the box, and you can even find more online if you want to, This offers me one of the most interesting deduction games that I played in a long time, and it is a ton of fun. This is their first in a series of more to come. I can't wait to see the others, but right now for this Christmas, check out Kronologic. And that's it for today, folks. 12 more games of Christmas for the advanced strategy gamer, who is probably you. We tried to find games that you could find available, and we looked for ones that were either you could get pre-orders or that were on different online gaming stores that were available right now or very soon. The reason we put these lists up right now is so that you have time to get these games in time for Christmas. So either way, thanks so much for watching this series. If you've enjoyed this video, we have 9 more videos. Just today we put up not just advanced strategy, but regular strategy games, and we have thematic games and cooperative games and more. So check them out on the Dice Tower channel. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to our sponsors, Above Board TV. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you, and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.